6 people were killed in a school shooting in Nashville yesterday. That's where we're starting the 7 from the Washington Post. I'm Jeff Pierre. It's Tuesday, March 28th. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. A 28-year-old with 2 AR-15 style weapons and a handgun killed 3 children and 3 adults. This happened at a private Christian grade school. Here's what we know so far. The shooter was killed by police. According to officials, the shooter had been a student at Covenant School and was transgender. Police haven't released a motive, though they say the shooter left behind a manifesto. 3 of the 6 victims were only 9 years old. Their names were Evelyn Deekhouse, Hallie Scruggs, and William Kinney. The 3 adults were staff members Cynthia Peak and Mike Hill, who were both 61, and Catherine Kuntz, who is 60. Number 2. Unprecedented strikes and protests brought Israel to a standstill yesterday. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu wants to remake Israel's judicial system, and tens of thousands of people demonstrated against that plan. It's controversial because his plan would give the government more power to choose judges, including those presiding over Netanyahu's corruption trial. Netanyahu backtracked yesterday under the pressure and said he would delay the overhaul, but he plans to bring it forward again, and many protesters want it withdrawn permanently. Number 3. Huge protests are also expected in France today. But these demonstrations have nothing to do with Israel. The unrest started earlier this month after French President Emmanuel Macron pushed through a bill to raise the country's retirement age from 62 to 64. Hundreds of thousands of people are expected to take to the streets, and there are concerns about more violent clashes between protesters and police. A deadly fire broke out at a migrant detention center by the U.S.-Mexico border. That's story number 4. Officials told local media that at least 37 people have been killed and dozens more have been injured. The fire started late last night in the Mexican city of Ciudad Juarez, which is just south of El Paso, Texas. The detention center sits close to the Rio Grande and a major border crossing. Number 5. The South is facing more storms after last week's deadly tornadoes. Thunderstorms and flooding are possible through today, especially near the Gulf Coast. More severe weather is forecast for Thursday into the weekend. This wave of dangerous storms began Friday, with tornadoes that left at least 26 people dead in Mississippi and Alabama. Number 6. The women's Final Four is set. Undefeated South Carolina and fellow number 1 seed Virginia Tech advanced last night.
Ohio State backs away, and for the first time in program history, Virginia Tech is headed to the Final Four.
They joined Iowa and LSU, who advanced through the women's NCAA tournament on Sunday. The women's Final Four begins Friday, with South Carolina facing Iowa and Virginia Tech taking on LSU. The men's Final Four tips off on Saturday. And at number 7, the house where JFK and Jackie lived as newlyweds is for sale. The house is here in D.C. in Georgetown. The Kennedys rented it for 6 months in 1954. It's been in the owner's family since it was built in 1942, so this is the first time that it's for sale. It comes with 4 bedrooms and bathrooms, oak floors, huge windows, and an English-style back garden. You could snap up this piece of history for only $2 million. What a steal. You're all caught up with the news for today. And if you love the show, don't keep it to yourself. Tell a friend about it. And thanks for starting your morning routine with us. I'm Jeff Pierre, and I'll meet you back here tomorrow.